How's it going, Pensacola? Welcome to another episode of Wahoo Weekly. I'm your host, Erik Bremer. Next Thursday, here at Blue Wahoo Stadium from 6 to 8 p.m., we'll be hosting the second annual Fish Fest. It'll be your chance to collect some autographs, tour the home clubhouse, spend some time on the field, and unofficially begin our look towards the 2023 season. On this week's episode of Wahoo Weekly, we'll be sitting down with a couple of our special guests at Fish Fest, catcher Will Banfield and incoming new hitting coach Matt Snyder. We'll also give you a community update, tell you a little bit about some reading programs and some school days that are coming up, as well as give you a sneak peek at some of the game-used items that will be available for you to purchase at the team store at Fish Fest. Let's go. Will Banfield, thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy offseason to talk a little baseball here as we begin 2023. You are a Southern League champion. You've had a couple months now to digest that and look back on it with a little bit more clarity. What will you remember about the 2022 season, more specifically after you arrived in Pensacola?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a whirlwind. It was a great time. We finished it, like you said, champions, and we'll always remember that. Great group of guys playing together, and it was a blast. We had fun every single day that we were on the field, and when I got called up, I was brought in with open arms from everybody on the team and everybody in the fan base at Pensacola. So, it was a great time, and like I said, I'll never forget that.
Really seemed like you took a step forward at the plate in the final couple weeks of the season, and it coincided with an opportunity to play more regularly. Unfortunately, Paul McIntosh was injured at the catcher position at the end of the season, but you really stepped up. What changes did you make in your approach or otherwise to really take that step forward?
Just continuing to work on my game. Found something that clicked for, the offensive side for my hitting, and kind of ran with it a little bit, settled down just a little bit in the box, and, got confident. And I feel like the confidence that I had really helped me to kind of, put myself where I wanted to be and where I knew that I could be at the plate. And like I said, I just ran with it. And, when we have a lot of guys on the team that can hit as well, and guys that can, put the ball over the fence and, come up in big clutch situations, hitting is contagious, and to see that can also be brought onto me, and then kind of, jolt my offensive game to where, I know that it can be. So it's good to have guys around, great lineup that can also, do their thing and know what they have to do. And also to have guys in the lineup and in the clubhouse that we can all talk to each other and kind of help each other with our own games as well.
It was a consequence of having many injuries in Pensacola and at other levels of the Marlins organization, but you had a lot of pitchers to keep straight, both in Beloit and in Pensacola this year. As the season came to a close, I'm sure you felt a little bit more comfortable catching all these different pitchers. How did that help you behind the plate to really have more of a grasp on the team that you were managing?
For sure. It was awesome to be able to kind of be in charge of two pitching staffs during the season at Beloit and Pensacola. It was amazing to be able to meet new guys that I hadn't before going up to Pensacola, but also be with some guys that I have been before from, the seasons before or spring training as well. So to be able to have that, that time with those guys in spring training to kind of see what they have at first, and then to come up to Pensacola and kind of already have in my mind or something written down in the journal of what I know that they have and be prepared for that as well, was really good to be able to go up there and kind of get in that rhythm early on and not have to, take a couple of weeks to kind of figure out what they have and all that kind of stuff. So, it was amazing to be able to, have that opportunity to be in charge of, like I said, two pitching staffs. And wow, we had some dudes on that pitching staff as well.
I want to save a couple of my questions for Fish Fest when you'll be joining us here in Pensacola at Blue Wahoo Stadium next Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. But I just want to ask how you've spent the offseason, what an offseason looks like for a catcher in terms of getting right physically, and what your goals are for 2023.
For sure. It's offseason. It's never really the offseason, right? Get, a couple of days off, weeks off, week and a half off, whatever it is from the end of the season, but always staying in there mentally, but continuing to work out, getting my body stronger. And that's the biggest thing for me, is making sure that my body is where I need it to be. And catching is always going to be a toll on your body during the season and how long the seasons are. So the more I can get my body in shape and ready to go and keep getting stronger is going to help me, obviously, and benefit me to be able to last the season and, last the off or the postseason. And then go into the next off season. So continuing to work out, making sure that I'm staying on my catching guys, getting off the machine, working on the things that I need to, better myself at, or, keep making sure that I still have, those qualities and everything from the season before. Yeah, I'm really excited to be next week, January 19th at Fish Fest as well. This off season feels like every single off season goes by quick, and I look forward to getting back to the season and being back in Florida and kind of being back in spring training. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Will, it's great to see you. It will be great to see you in person in just a few days' time. Ready to sign some autographs?
Oh, for sure. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right, Will. Thanks again. See you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
When the Blue Wahoos take the field in 2023, they will have a new hitting coach, and he joins us here today. Matt Snyder, welcome to the Blue Wahoos.
Oh, man, thank you very much. I could not tell you how excited I am. So
it'll be a fun time at Fish Fest, getting to know you as you will get to know some of our fans. But just by way of introduction, why don't you tell our fans where you come from and your previous experience before arriving here in Pensacola?
Okay. I live in Oxford, Mississippi. I live here with my wife, Mary Claire, my dog, Maisie, and my wife is about 4.5 months pregnant. So we're going to have another one coming, and we'll have another Pensacola Blue Wahoo fan about mid-June. I'm coming from Beloit. I was in Beloit the last 2 years. And prior to that, I was with the Marlins a year in AAA, and then the New York Yankees for 6 years. So a lot of rehab, though. So,
well, you had a long playing career, as you mentioned. It ended with the Marlins. At what point did a coaching career after your playing days were done? Did that hit your radar?
It was. I would say it was. It was in 19. I was rehabbing a torn hamstring, and then I think it was my very last rehab game. I broke my foot, and so got with the front office guys, Jeff DeGrid at the time, and we were talking, and he was like, I heard you love to coach, and I was like, absolutely. I grew up coaching my whole life. My dad has had a facility my whole life, and so we were talking and everything, and he was like, if we can't keep you on the field, we'd like to at least keep you in the dugout. And I was like, man, I think it's probably time after 9 surgeries. So I want to be able to walk and play with my kids. So we had those conversations, and got started off in 19 during instructs in 19, and then in 20. Well, I think we all know what happened in 2020. So had about 2 weeks of coaching in spring training in 2020, and then obviously went home for a while. And then 2021 was in Beloit. And then last year was in Beloit also. And then now get to do pretty much a dream job this year. So
you come from a baseball family. Your father played in Major League Baseball. A couple of your brothers have also played. How has that helped you as you transition to a coaching career, knowing that you've got such a strong base of support in baseball instruction?
Yeah, no, I mean, it helps immensely, man. I use the term blessed all the time when it comes to baseball, when it comes to the opportunities I've had and the people that I've had in my life. And obviously my dad, playing as long as he did in professional baseball. He was a pitcher actually too. So it was funny. He was a lefty pitcher, and all of his boys hit. And so, just knowing and learning from my dad and being able to watch him coach my whole life. Cause like I said, he had a facility my whole life, and just watching him coach and coaching camps with him. And man, I swear I was probably, I think, 12 years old when I started coaching with him, helping out with the little kids and stuff and during camps, and just being able to watch him do all that and get guidance from him with everything. And that's been unbelievable. And obviously my older brother played in the big leagues for a long time. And he's been a huge help with my twin brother and I. And then obviously my twin, he played professional with the Braves and the Angels. And so, being able to have those guys on my back and be able to learn from those guys. And every offseason when I was in Virginia, every offseason we had camps and lessons every single day. So that's what we lived in the offseason. So and we went from playing to coaching. And so really those coaching times were able to help us, stay prepared for the season, but then it also prepared us for life after playing, So that's pretty much how all that stuff happened. And as people talk about having their calling and stuff, and there's nothing more I love and enjoy more than helping these guys with our organization. Just with anything hitting wise, mentally, physically. I just love being there for the boys and working with them, I cannot wait to have this group of guys in Pensacola. So,
with the understanding that I'll have plenty more questions for you when we meet in person on Thursday at Fish Fest, I do have just one more today, but it's a two-parter. What are you looking forward to in 2023 on the field? Maybe some of the players that you got to coach last year in Beloit, and off the field, experiencing living in Pensacola during the summer.
Yeah, no. So I don't know exactly who's coming to be with us this year. We have the whole spring training deal, and so I mean, all I can say is I played. I mean, I worked with a lot of the guys that started there this year in Pensacola last year. I mean, 2 years ago in Beloit, I had Troy and Griffin and those guys, and so obviously I if by any chance any of those guys that I worked with in 2021 are going to be there, that'd be awesome. Then obviously last year, you got guys like Banfield and Nunez and all those guys that just work their tail off. And I just, admire those boys just because of how hard they work and how much they love the game and how much they want to get better and have their ultimate goal of reaching the big leagues. So just that's my thing. Like I just can't wait to get back in the cages and work with every one of them now, man. I live for the cages. I love being in the cages with the boys and playing some music and getting them ready for the game and making adjustments that I can see their eyes light up with. So that's what I'm most excited about. Just getting back in the grind with the boys in the cages. Now off the field, I live in Oxford, Mississippi, so Pensacola in this league is like one of the furthest ones from my home. It's only about 6 hours. And, in professional baseball, you don't get that very much, So, we got, teams in this league in Huntsville and Birmingham and that are about 3 hours away from home. But then you also got Pearl where, my wife's side of the family is, Mississippi. Obviously, Pearl, Mississippi, which is where Jackson, Mississippi.
Do I ever? Yeah.
And so my wife has a bunch of family down there. I mean, her mom lives in Clinton, Mississippi. So we'll be able to see her, and then just being able to be so close to home with my wife actually being pregnant, like I said, is huge. So I'm excited to be able to off the field. I'm excited to be able to see my wife a lot and be able to enjoy this league with her, because this is like I said, this is our dream league. So it's going to be incredible. I can't wait.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you giving us the time and hopping on here. Welcome to Pensacola, and I look forward to talking hitting with you at Fish Fest on Thursday and all summer long. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
We know you'll enjoy getting to know Will, Matt, and Griffin Conine, our three special guests at Fish Fest on Thursday. I'm out beyond the left field wall looking for a couple home run balls that Will or Griffin might have hit this past season, and I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Kazoo's reading program. We told you about Kazoo's reading program last week, but on Friday, we actually kicked it off. Kazoo and I went out to N.B. Cook Elementary School for our first school visit. We'll have many more in the weeks and months to come, including perhaps your kid's school. If you'd like to learn more, go to BlueWahoos.com. It's a pretty simple program. We hand the kid a bookmark. The student has to read 4 books. Once they do that, they can fill out the bookmark, get it signed by their teacher, and turn it into the box office for a free ticket to a Blue Wahoos game this upcoming season. Speaking of schools, for the first time in Blue Wahoos history, we'll have a couple education days early in the season this year. The afternoon starts on Wednesdays while school is still in session. It's a great opportunity for a field trip. A meal is provided. You can watch the Blue Wahoos, and you can also get some educational materials, so it's an enriching experience for all fans. As always, all you got to do is go to BlueWahoos.com to learn more. We're going to wrap up this week's episode of Wahoo Weekly here in the home clubhouse at Blue Wahoo Stadium, a home clubhouse that you can see for yourself at Fish Fest on Thursday night. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at some of the game-used items that we'll have for sale, including some jerseys that are no longer in circulation. These were the special 10th season silver trim Blue Wahoo's home white jerseys worn by the players. We'll be going back to our normal home whites next year, so you can pick these up and wear them at the game in 2023 if you'd like. We also have our power blue tops. These are going into retirement. They'll be replaced by another alternate or two. These two were game worn by a player. This is Griffin Conine, so get here early, pick that up. Maybe he'll autograph it for you. We also have some game-used caps of all varieties and some workout tees, so if you want something that was worn by a player in the 2022 season, Fish Fest is the place to be. That's all we have for you this week. We'll see you at Fish Fest on Thursday from 6 to 8 here at Blue Wahoo Stadium. This is Erik Bremer signing